Hey, what's up, nerds? My name is Trogdor, and welcome back to another video from the NSTL. Of course, you already watched my team builder, so you know exactly what is going on here. I'm playing my Week 2 matchup, so none of these mons I'm bringing should be a huge surprise. My opponent is Monster with the Atlanta Avians. Of course, inherited the team from another player, PJ, who had the Dever Bronzongs, which went 0-1 -5. So didn't inherit the best record, but hey, it's only week 1, so anything could really happen. I'm sitting here at 1-0 +4. Had a pretty strong start to my season, I want to say, so I want to keep that going, obviously. So just a quick recap. I've got my snake, got my fish, got my lightning bolt, got my thick boy, got my jet waifu, and Heatran. Yeah, cool. So looking at his team, he decided to bring Tangrowth, Hoopa, Kieran Black, Blastoise, Mega Diancie, and Ditto. Most of these things I was expecting, like the Kieran and Diancie, the Tangrowth and Blastoise. Ditto, I was kind of on the fence about. Hoopa, I had no idea. I was expecting like Kartana or something else. So that kind of threw me for a loop. Mega Man Electric just has a field day. I can hit basically everything, and if he decides to go into Ditto, it can't do anything back to me. HP Steel hits the Diancie, Thunderbolt hits Blastoise really hard, Flamethrower hits Tangrowth and Kieran Black. Looking at his team composition, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a Scarf Kieran because he didn't bring the, I was expecting Kartana to be scarfed, so got to be wary of that. So Mega Man Extra is going to do a thing. If I can get a sub with Gyarados, I basically win sub and Dragon Dance because then Ditto can't copy my stats. Zygarde can revenge a lot of things with extreme speed. So let's get right in and see where this goes. So he leads with Diancie and I lead with Manectric. So right away, I could bop this thing with HP Steel and just be done. But I'm not going to do that right now because later in the match, if it's the same matchup, I've already bluffed that I don't have it. So I think my safest play right now is to not reveal that I have that hidden power and go for a Volt Switch, because no matter what, if he stays in, I can go into one of those things like Heatran to take a hit, or no, not Heatran. Anyway, Volt Switch will get me some huge momentum right off the bat, so I'm going to go ahead with that. He ends up switching into Tangrowth, so I am able to Mega Up, get off the Volt Switch. It chews that damage, so Tangrowth is like a really thick boy. So I go into Heatran. It's a pretty safe switch because since I've got my Air Balloon, if the Tangrowth is running Earthquake, it can't really hit me, and later on if Kieran decides to start going for Earth powers, that won't be able to hit me. So I like that I have Balloon this matchup. So he switches out again into his Blastoise as I get on my rocks. So I'm predicting him to Rapid Spin and just get right back out into my Manectric as he does there. So good play on my opponent's part. So again, like Ditto can't touch me. And the best part is it can't touch Zygarde either. So I go out into my Dragon Energy. Zygarde making its debut. So I go for an Earthquake because as he doesn't have his, as my opponent doesn't have, Swellow on his team, 1,000 arrows is still doing damage, but Earthquake is doing even more damage, so I have no reason not to go for that unless eventually he copies my Latias, and then I'd have to go for 1,000 arrows on that, but then I'd rather go for... Did I bring Outrage? I don't think I did. Anyway, so I get my Assault Vest knocked off, which is unfortunate because I really need to take some of those hits. I just go for Fake Out for damage, just see what it does exactly. Unfortunately, I get Toxicon here, but I'm able to knock off Blastoise's leftovers, which is pretty great, but this is really limiting Hariyama's longevity. So I go into Manectric, probably going to get off another Volt Switch because he's not going to let his Blastoise stay in. Going right back into Tangrowth. No, I went for a Thunderbolt, but anyway, I'm not exactly sure what Tangrowth can do to me. I'm assuming, well, it just used Earthquake, so it obviously does have that, but either way, Mr. Fish is a pretty great switch here. So I'm going to go straight for a sub on Gyarados because it looks like I can set up right now. So I'm going to go ahead for this Dragon Dance, which is looking pretty great. He used Roar, and I did not remember that Blastoise got Roar. So that whole idea goes completely down the drain until I manage to take down Blastoise. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So he roars me out into Heatran. Not the best matchup. If I had gotten to the Latias, I could have gotten a Draco. You know, Manectric does its stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so that happened. Probably my biggest misplay is forgetting that it had the thing. I could have gone for a bounce there and gotten some substantial damage because he doesn't really have anything that wants to switch on that. Anyway, so he goes for a Scald and breaks my Baloo, but I eat that hit up because I'm specially defensive, and I miss a Magma Storm. I was hoping I could get that Magma Storm to trap him so that something like, you know, Manectric or Hariyama could come in just like this. He goes into Hoopa to resist my close combat, and by that doesn't do anything. I'll go back out into Heatran as that does a lot of damage. I calc that damage, that's Specs damage. So that's a Specs Hoopa with Shadow Ball. I mentioned earlier I wasn't exactly expecting this. And yeah, so this kind of threw me for a loop because it's doing a lot of damage for my Heatran. So I definitely can't stay in, and I don't really have a safe switch. In hindsight, I should have gone to Gyarados because it's kind of useless for this match until Blastoise is down. Or Hariyama since it's not able to go for a Psychic and I can just hit it with a knockoff. So I protect just to, you know, just making sure that he is Specs. But for some reason, well, yeah, Hariyama dies. I calced damage earlier, but I didn't calc that one. I was hoping I could tank something, but yeah. Hariyama going down is pretty big because now if Kyurem is Scarfed, I don't have a, you know, really great answer to it. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to keep going. So I go into Mega Manectric. He, of course, can't stay in, so I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt. That does an okay chunk to Tangrowth, but I'm going to go straight for the Flamethrower, which does even more. Knockoff isn't doing much to me, but I am getting severely whittled down with Manectric, and I don't have any Wish support. So, yeah. He goes for Dragon Pulse, which I eat that up. Because, you know, I'm specially defensive and I get my rocks up, but I know he's gonna go for a spin again, so I'm just gonna, you know, do this dance again. He spins, I'm Manectric, I Thunderbolt, and Blastoise is down. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I got Blastoise to go down, which is a pretty big problem for my team. So now Gyarados comes in against Kyurem, and that Dragon Pulse is doing too much damage that there's no way I could be able to get a sub up. So I should have no reason to stay in with Gyarados at this point, but I do, and yeah, I go for a bounce. It's probably the best damage that I can do, but he's going to go for Diancie. It doesn't do anything, and Gyarados is not happening at this point. So I misplayed with Gyarados a lot right there because I said if I had Blastoise go down, then I could wait till I get a safe sub, but with Kyurem out there, Dragon Pulse was hitting a lot of things pretty hard. Well, Heatran could have lived one more hit and gone for Magma Storm, but yeah, losing Gyarados at that point in the game was kind of unfortunate for me, considering I did want to go for that sub again. Anyway, I go into Manectric. He's got Diancie. I'm of course going to go for my Hidden Power now, but he, you know, is going to go into Kyurem. But that still does a pretty good chunk. But I'm pretty sure he's Scarf, so Heatran can live one more hit on that. But yeah, I'm just going to have to sack Heatran because I don't have a safe switch into Dragon Pulse. Manectric again, I don't know if I can live that. He switches for some reason, so he might be bluffing the Scarf after all this time. So I'm hoping not. But I'm able to take down the Tangrowth with Flamethrower. So I got his like really bulky wall core down at this point, but my team is so whittled down that I'm looking like I don't have a very favorable matchup against the Kyurem Black. Manectric is whittled down, Zygarde is banded, Latias is support, and yeah, I'm just gonna see how much damage I can get off on this thing. He chooses to go for Ice Beam. I don't live that hit. I know Zygarde's not gonna live that hit, but I can get an extreme speed off, maybe if it's like, you know, an ultra crit, which it's not, and I go down. So now it's Latias versus the world. I've got a support set on Latias. I'm somewhat defensive, but not super specially defensive. I could hit Kyurem with the Hidden Power Fire, but my only attacking moves are that and Draco Meteor, and I don't want to go for Draco to get my special attack drop, but then I can't do anything to Diancie. So it's basically game at this point. I do manage to live the Ice Beam, but Hidden Power doesn't even kill the Kyurem, which is unfortunate even after my Life Orb. and I go down. Yeah, so Kyurem got a clean sweep at the end. I misplayed with Hariyama and Gyarados. If I had Hariyama in my back pocket, I could have, gotten close to combat. Manectric would still be around to take care of the Diancie, and then, Ditto can't switch on me, and then I got Zygarde. But I would still be taking a lot of damage from Specs Hoopa. So, good game to my opponent. Definitely a very strong start to your season since you just joined, especially after inheriting, not the greatest record in the world, but, good on that. I lost 0-4, so that and my last week, I'm now at 1-1 with 0 differential, so I'm not in the negative, which is good. You can go 1-1 and be negative something, but yeah, not my best game in the world. I think my opponent played his walls very well, broke walls with Hoopa, and then played smart with Kyurem and just cleaned up at the end. So I definitely want to say that Manectric was MVP of this game. Definitely put a lot of pressure, but he was just able to switch around with Tangrowth and company well enough to keep Kyurem in the back pocket. Maybe could have gotten a sweep with Gyarados if I had not been dumb, but that's whatever. And yeah, good game. Go check out my opponent's channel, as well as everyone else's. Links are in the video description. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the video, because I will be doing Saturday team builders and Sunday uploads. So please stay tuned for that. And otherwise, go check out the NSTL Twitter as well as mine. And I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Goodbye.